Okay, good morning, all of you. Let's start last unit discussion. It will take hardly 3 to 4 hours to complete. So, very small chapter that way, but very interesting techniques are involved in this particular unit. So, I hope you people will enjoy it. So, this is syllabus which you are seeing on screen. So, very 5 to 6 bits are there. So, almost all are the techniques. So if you see the title of chapter is Introduction to Various Techniques related to what it is not mentioned, but obviously you have to understand related to quality in an industry, right? So these various techniques and tools. So we have seen various tools till today, right? Graphical tools and all these. So along with that, we are going to discuss the various techniques. So most of the techniques people are using in a industry, especially in manufacturing industries. So yeah, first bit is introduction to benchmarking, then quality management system, environmental management system, quality function deployment, Six Sigma, FMEA, total productive maintenance, and quality engineering. So all separate bits are there. So all independent bits. There is no bit depend on each other. So you people can refer this textbooks. So statistical quality control and total quality management. So these are the important textbook you can refer for unit number 8. Then this will be the MCQ, these assignment questions. So first question is write a short note on benchmarking. Then second question is discuss the quality management system, discuss the environmental management system. Then write short note on Six Sigma, explain the Taguchi quality engineering and explain the FMEA. Okay, so almost six questions are there. So you people can refer this question to write assignments. So let us start the discussion on title of chapter. So in this particular chapter, there are two important words, that is technique and another one is a tool. So what is the technique? So most of the time we refer this word, use this technique, use that technique. So friends, it is a method or procedure or way of something is done. So that may be the technique. It may be the method, it may be the procedure, it may be the way of doing something. Okay, so that can be a technique. So we refer this. So same thing, uh, t- same techniques will be there in industry. So same word meaning you have to refer. So if you want to get the work done in industry, so you have to refer various techniques. So we are going to discuss quality related techniques. Then what is the tool? Another word in the title of chapter, that is a tool. So it is a very well known word to us, especially to mechanical engineering. So what is a tool? Tool is an instrument. Generally we refer tool is a instrument or equipment, you can say, which you can hold in your hand and you can do particular work. So that word we refer like that. That is tool. Now here in quality control, that tool word is something different. So uh, obviously you have to refer it for the doing the work. But physical instruments and physical equipment, that discussion we are not going to make. So certain graphical tools, right? So like we have seen, control chart is there, then fishbone diagram is there. So graphical tools, so that meaning we have to take. So that related discussion we are going to make. So basically, if you see the central idea of this chapter, so various techniques are involved, like benchmarking is technique, quality environmental management, quality and environmental management system, quality function deployment, Six Sigma, FMEA, total productive maintenance, quality engineering, especially Taguchi quality engineering. So such a various techniques are there. So if you see the central idea, various techniques are involved in this particular chapter. So you have seen the various unknown names. I think Six Sigma is well known to you people out of this all the techniques. Right. So remaining technique, even though we are going to discuss that, even though you are knowing, but remaining techniques, if you see, benchmarking, quality and environmental management system, quality function deployment. So these are the various techniques people refer in a industry. So that we are going to discuss. Why it is important? So basically, to improve and maintain the quality in quality department, you have to go for various techniques along with various tools, right? So that's why these techniques are important for you people, those who will join the quality department. So for them, these techniques are very important. So this chapter is linked to CO number ME 422.6 that is given below. So after learning this chapter, you people will able to select the various techniques used in industry related to quality. Right. So this will be the outcome of this unit. Then let us start the discussion on benchmarking. Now this is one of the technique. Okay. So benchmarking is a technique. So what is its meaning? Basically, it is a systematic method by which organization can measure themselves against the best industry practices. Means what you have to do? You have to take the somebody's technique. Those who are referring, like you can borrow the technique, then you have to adopt that technique in your organization, and not as it is. You can refine also. So this is basically secret of this benchmarking technique. Now people may say like, if you are copying somebody, benchmarking is it like that? You are copying somebody. Some people may say like you are making, you can say unusual practice. Right? So taking something from others, adopting, and or you can say copying somebody. Not good at all, right? So it is not like that. Okay, so it is allowed to for continuous improvement. People go for benchmarking. So what is the benchmarking? It is a you can say systematic method by which organization can measure themselves against the best practices in industry. If somebody is having best practice or excellent practice, why we should not take that from these people? Obviously, if they disclose it, then it is possible. If it is kept very secret, so quite difficult. So that may be the you can say malpractice. But if you are, it is open technique. Those people are well-known organization, well-known brands. People are doing it. What is wrong in that to borrow such a techniques from them? So it is a good thing. Okay, so that is a benchmarking. Getting. So benchmarking word people use at various places, but as in a quality, in industrial quality, this is the word people refer. Okay. So now, in which area benchmarking can be used? Various places. So many places you can say, like operational strategies in the organization related to you can say inventory management and inventory control. At that place, these operational strategies are useful. For example, how people manage the inventories, how people control the inventories. You learn from others. Suppose your small scale industry is there, you can refer the MNCs also. What techniques they refer. So related to inventory management, how they, which software they use for the inventory management and control. Take it, implement in your organization, right? So it may be for MNC, it may be at large scale. At small scale, you can use in your organization. So for our operational strategies, this may benchmarking people use. Almost all field, but let us have example. Like marketing management, how people do the marketing management. How people manage the customer, how purchasing is done, what is the software people use for purchasing, what is the mechanism of purchasing, what is the tender mechanism, right? So from whom they purchase the material, right? So that kind of purchasing related thing, billing and collection, how people make the billing. Now GST is there, so how other people are billing the things or filing the GSTs. So that techniques you can refer. So nothing wrong in that, right? Then purchasing practices that I have told. What practices they have, how they purchase good material, how they do bargaining, how they reduce the cost of material. So like that, various marketing management techniques also you can refer. So benchmarking is applicable to marketing management also. Even in quality marketing, quality improvement efforts, at that place also you can use. So for example, how people use the equipment effectively, right? So how they maintain the quality, which kind of tools they use, how they are making continuous efforts to improve the quality, what techniques they have. So those who are successful people, nothing wrong to refer them, right? So benchmarking is applicable here also. Even in HR practices, human resource, how people acquire the talent, how they search talent, how they recruit the people, how they train the people, how they develop the people, right? How they give, which kind of, how much salary they provide to their employee, like that. HR practices, how people are doing, refer them. Getting? So at that place also, um, this benchmarking is applicable. Even in supply chain management, where they have warehouses, how they distribute the material, right? So in short, if you ask me like benchmarking, so referring others and following them, nothing wrong in that, right? If you follow successful people, it is good thing, right? So it is always better to follow successful people other than those who are not successful. Getting? So benchmarking is nothing like that. So I hope almost in all the field in industry, you can refer the others. You can adopt their techniques. You can borrow the technique from them. You can make the refinement. You can make the certain changes. लोकांचं बघून आपण आपल्या इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये इम्प्लिमेंट करायला पाहिजे. गेटिंग? सो लोकांचं बघून, so not necessarily like as it is you refer, that technique may not be applicable or that technique may not be suitable for you, so why you are referring them? So it's your choice, right? So as a engineer, as a manager, you can adopt the certain techniques, but at the same time your higher authority should be ready for that, and you should follow the ethical way, right? So ethics is very important in this. Yeah, copying as it is to somebody, so you can say like something wrong, it is not ethical. But if you copy somebody, you learn from them, you implement, right? So nothing wrong in that. So don't be bother about this ethical issue while doing the benchmarking. So now factors to be kept in mind to ensure the success with benchmarking. So you have to consider certain factors. Yes, benchmarking, it is allowed in most of the industry, but you have to remember certain things in your mind. For example, there must be support from senior management, and they should involve in this process. Otherwise, what will happen? You will spend your time to learn others' techniques, what others are doing, and whatever time you are spending, if your senior management is not ready or your boss is not ready to accept it, so your time will get waste. So in during the benchmarking, you have to understand, like, I should inform same thing to my senior management and involve them also in the process. It is not your own activity. तुम्हाला वाटलं म्हणतं मी केलं. No, it is not applicable in professional life. In corporate, people most of the time they deny your whatever efforts you have made. So you should involve them also. Then for benchmarking, team and process training is important. Training is important. So whatever things you are referring from others, if you are having half knowledge, so all of us know half knowledge is hazardous, you can say. So proper process training, proper team training, then you should implement. Half knowledge is definitely not useful. So proper training, proper team training is very, very essential in benchmarking. Even benchmarking is not a one person activity. You should involve the team in that. So it is a team activity. And benchmarking is an ongoing process. असं काही नाही आले आणि सगळे इम्प्लिमेंट केले आणि लगेच चालू झालं. It is ongoing. Make small changes in your production line, in your design. So it is ongoing process. It is not like that today you refer somebody and you implement it tomorrow. It is not like that. It is an ongoing process. Benchmarking efforts must be organized, planned, and carefully managed. So that's why I have told, like, if you not organize these efforts or it is not planned, then your time will get waste. Also, this benchmarking is definitely going to help and can lead you to competitive advantage in marketplace. So definitely you will be a competitor if you refer them, right? So that factor you have to remember. What advantages you will get of benchmarking? So all of us know benchmarking is nothing but you have to compare your performance by referring others, right? So that small definition we have seen. So how you compare? You use them, use their techniques, use their practices. Then you can compare, right? And if it is not successful, you have to leave it. So advantage you can say like you can promote your superior performance. If your performance is not good, so if you refer people, then you can also perform the superior performance. Means high level of performance you can give, right? So that is one of the best advantage you can say. And for continuous improvement, benchmarking helps a lot because you are referring somebody who is already successful, right? So you can have a continuous improvement. You can go for continuous improvement, and you can see it is a technique for the continuous improvement in your organization. Also, this inspires the managers to compete, or it also inspires to organization to compete with other people, right? So if you refer them, if you adopt their techniques, if you adopt their practices, you will also give superior performance and you will become confident. You will get inspired, right? Also, in benchmarking, you can borrow the ideas, you can adopt the ideas, you can refine them, and gain the competitive advantage. So this is also one of the advantage. So borrowing idea, adopting it, refining them, and becoming competitor and selling your product and earning the profit and serving the society ultimately. Okay, so these are the advantages of benchmarking. So there are certain disadvantages you can say or limitations also. So best thing is that uh, some people criticize like benchmarking comes from the idea of copying others. At the beginning of discussion, only I have told this is a limitation. People say like criticism is there. So some people say you are copying others. असे भरपूर प्रोडक्ट्स आहेत. टाटाचे प्रोडक्ट्स महिंद्रा एकमेकांना कॉपी करतात बरोबर. So nothing wrong in that, right? So you have your own design, you are having product, your own production. So nothing wrong in that. But if you copy as it is, so that time it may be the wrong thing. Ethical issue will be there. So if you make the changes, if you add something, your additional part, so this may not be disadvantage, but you can say limitation. People criticize benchmarking in most of the industries. So actually, it is not a strategy nor intended to be a business philosophy. असं कोणी सांगितलेलं नाही कुठल्या ऑर्गनायझेशन मध्ये गो फॉर बेंचमार्किंग. It is not a strategy. It is not intended also for business philosophy also. It is not a philosophy also. It is not a strategy also. Right? So it is not recommended anywhere. So if you see the benchmarking, so this practice is not recommended, but people take the certain advantages, especially small scale industry people take such advantage to grow, and nothing wrong in that. But it is not a strategy, or you cannot say like business philosophy. दुसऱ्यांचं बघून you should have your own things, right? You should have your own invention, innovation. So, and also it is a time taking technique also, because getting the information from others, implementing in your own organization, training the people, again checking the performance. If it is not satisfactory, and then referring other again another person. So time consuming technique it is, right? So these are the disadvantage. So conclusion of this discussion, if you ask me, like friends, most of the people, like more than 60% companies in the world uses this technique. You can say like 40% are not using, but around 60% people are using this technique in industry. And for what? Fixing their target and continuous improvement. And this tool is important. People thinks, they think like we can, if you want to improve continuously, so this technique is essential for me. If it is not used properly, then it cannot be effective. Yeah, if it is not used properly, it is not used effectively. You will waste money, you will waste time, you will waste energy, and sometimes moral too. Getting? So this is the problem. And one more thing you have to remember as a conclusion: benchmarking is not a substitute for innovation. Try to understand. If you copy somebody, if you implement, means you should not go for innovation. You should go, right? So benchmarking is another technique people use, but your innovation you should go for. You should not depend on only benchmarking. It is not a substitute for innovation. It is alternative, another way, alternative for continuous improvement, you can say. Getting? But it is not a substitute for innovation. Getting? So that care you have to take. So many people always focus on benchmarking and they forget to innovate the things. Right? So you should have your own innovation. Getting? Everybody understood this concept of benchmarking? I hope after this these many example you got clarified. Anybody want to ask anything? Should we proceed for next week? So this is about the benchmarking which we have discussed. Should we proceed? Is it okay? Should we proceed? Okay. So next BT is their quality management system. QMS. Generally, people refer this word as a QMS. So, friends, quality management system is also referred as a QMS, and it is a system that processes, documents, procedure, responsibility for achieving quality policies and objective. Friends, it can be a system. Okay, quality management system, name itself in title, it is a system. We understand the meaning of system. So, what kind of system? Where documents processes are going to happen, various procedure, responsibilities, achieving the quality policy and objectives. So related to quality only. Okay, so managing the quality in the quality department, certain system people have developed. So that is a QMS, where document processes, procedure, responsibilities, achieving quality policy and objectives are there. So this QMS helps people in the industry to coordinate and direct the organization's activities to meet customer and regulatory requirement. So why this QMS is required? There is a requirement to satisfy the customer, meet the requirements of the customer and various regulatory requirements. All of us know the regulatory requirement in quality. So how much, what is the quality of that particular product? It is already decided by regulatory organizations. So that is a regulatory requirement. And it improves its effectiveness and efficiency on the continuous basis. Okay, so if you want to go for effectiveness and efficient improvement, so quality management system helps a lot. So in quality management system, you can say it is software based. Now people have converted this QMS into softwares. Here you can preserve the documents properly. You can define the standard operating procedures. Who will be having the responsibility? Who will be having what is the quality policy that organization is having? How it should be achieved? Its manual, its objective, it's mentioned in a QMS. Getting? Then purpose of QMS. So why QMS is important? For improving processes. If you want to improve the various process, actually once process is defined, you should have continuous improvement, right? It is decided or it is there. Improvement is essential in any of the organization, otherwise you will cannot compete with the people. So whatever processes are there, you should improve continuously. So QMS helps there. Also, it facilitating and identifying the training opportunities. So where training is necessary, in which area to achieve the quality, in which area improvement is required, how we can train the people, QMS help for that. Also, it helps to engaging a staff. So utilization of staff, you can say, like in which area people should be trained and which expertise should be used at which field. So that also can be done with the help of QMS. Also setting organizations wide direction. Obviously, every organization should expand his already existing enterprise, right? It should not get narrowed. So if you want to expand or if you want to wide the direction of your organization, QMS is a helpful tool. Now benefits of quality management system. So first benefit, before that, implementing a quality management system affects the every aspect of the organization's performance. That we have to understand, right? So implementing a quality management system affects the every aspect of the organizational performance. So that's why implementing quality management system is essential. So there are basically, you can say, two benefits: meeting the customer requirement and meeting the organization's requirement. That's why this technique, you can say, is important. Getting? So meeting the customer's requirement, which helps to install confidence in the organization, in turns leading to more customer, more sales, and more repeat business. Okay, so these are the benefits, you can say, related to customers requirement. Then meeting the organization's requirement. What are the requirements? Maybe regulations and provision of products and services in the most cost resources efficient manner, creating room for expansion, growth, and profit. So if you say this QMS advantages, basically two advantages are there. First one is a meeting the customer's requirement, and second one is a meeting the organization's requirement. And what are the customer's requirement? You can say what customer is expecting: quality, right? You can expand the or you can have the more customers, you can have more sale, you can have more repeat business, again and again you can sell that. So such kind of requirements as far as the organization is concerned. So for that purpose, QMS is beneficial. And what is another benefit? Meeting the organization's requirement. So what are the organization's requirement? You can say like making the more profit, expanding the organization, growing the organization, right? So like that organization's requirement. So for that purpose, QMS is essential. Now there are certain elements of QMS. First element is the organization's quality policy and quality objective. There are certain elements of QMS. First element is a quality policy and quality objective. So you should have in this particular system your quality policy. I think we have discussed a lot on quality policy. We have given the example of, I think, Tata Motors, right? Quality policy. Again, few example we already have seen. So you understood the meaning of quality policy. Objectives, right, of the organization to achieve the quality. So that must be a part of QMS. Then quality manual. To maintain the quality, to improve the quality, there should be a certain procedure. It should be mentioned somewhere. It should be written somewhere. So that document can be a quality manual. Then third element is procedures and instructions and records. So your procedure to produce product, do's and don'ts like instructions, and various record of a regular record of your quality maintaining and quality improvement. So such a record. So it is also a part of the QMS. Then data management system. Right, so data management. So whatever data you have collected, it should be gathered somewhere. So that is also element of the QMS. Then customer satisfaction from product quality. That is also element. Customer satisfaction. Why this QMS is there? You have to satisfy the customer, right? At the end, what is the purpose? Only satisfying the customer. Then improvement opportunities, where improvement opportunities are there. So that is also element of the QMS. And also quality analysis, continuous quality analysis. So what is quality today? What is tomorrow? What is day after tomorrow? So its monitoring and its analysis is very, very essential. So these are the elements of QMS. So the overall goal of meeting the customers and organizations requirement is the purpose of this QMS. You have to understand. So what is the organization's requirement? Satisfying the customer. And what is the customer's expectation? Getting the quality, right? So on, you can say like satisfactory requirement. Okay, so these are the elements of QMS. Now establishing and implementation of QMS. So establishing a quality management system helps organization to run effectively. That is very, very important statement. If you establish quality management system in your organization, you can run your organization effectively. Because if certain things are systematically, that all of us know, things will run very smoothly and effectively. So in industry also same thing. So QMS will help you to run your organizations very effectively. Because we have seen almost all elements are involved in daily activities, right? So in previous slide we have seen various elements. Then before establishing a quality management system, the organization must identify and manage various connected multifunctional process to ensure customer satisfaction. So you have to understand, before establishing this system in your organization, you must first identify and manage various connected multifunctional processes to ensure customer satisfaction. Because on one thing, quality is not dependent. There are various multifunctional processes are there. So you should connect that. You should manage that before establishing that. And you have to ensure in this case, like your customer is going to get satisfied. There are certain basic steps to establish the QMS. Basic steps, you can say. First step is a design, then build, deploy, control, measure, review, and improve. So there are basic, this you can say 7 steps are there. So if you want to establish QMS in your organization, you have to design it, you have to build it, you have to deploy it, you have to control it, you have to measure it, you have to review, and you have to improve. So let us see what to do in every stage. So for example, in design and build, what is expected? So all of us know what is the design and what is the build. So what kind of design is expected here? QMS. First you have to design it. So the design and build portion serves to develop the structure of the QMS, its processes and plans for implementation. So that can be a design. And senior management must observe this portion to ensure that the need of the organization and need of the customers are the driving force behind the system development. So what is the role of senior management in designing and building the QMS? They have to ensure that organization's need and customers' needs are the basic force behind it. डिझायनिंग मध्ये काय करायचं? कस्टमर का सॅटिस्फाय होतोय का ते पाहायचं. सिनियर मॅनेजमेंट रोल इज व्हेरी व्हेरी एसेन्शियल हियर. Getting? So in designing and building, you have to develop the structure, processes and plan of implementation. Right? So designing. So it is in designing, plan is important. What are the processes? How you are going to implement, and what is the structure of it? So these are the part of designing. Getting? and senior management has to ensure that the need of organization and need of customers are the basic force behind it. म्हणजे काय? So that system is developed based on these two things. You have to consider the interest of organization and interest of customer. And by keeping these two things in mind, this QMS should be developed and build in organization. Now, second step or third step, you can say deploying. All of us know deployment is the best served in the granular fashion. That is, breaking each process down into sub processes and educating staff on the documentation, training tools, and various matrices. Getting? So, breaking all the processes into sub processes before deploying this QMS in your organization. In QMS, you have to divide single process into small processes, and then you have to educate the people how that QMS should be used. You have to educate them. You have to train them, right? So in deployment, it is expected. The next steps are there: control and measure. Okay. So what is expected here? In controlling and control and measurement are two areas of establishing a QMS that are largely accomplished through routine systematic audit of the quality management system. So friends, whatever planned, what is designed, whether things are going as per the design, as per the whatever you have built, what kind of structure you have built, whether things are going in organization accordingly, that you have to check. How you can check it? You can check through routine checkup. Regularly you can check. Design is like that, structure is like that, whether people are following it, people are following certain procedure, yes or no. If it is yes, you are having control, you are continuously monitoring it, you are measuring it, and you are controlling it. Even sometimes people go for systematic audits of QMS. Whatever you have decided, things are going as per the plan. If it is going as per the plan, then no issue. But still, you have to go for audits. And if there are remark from audits like there is a problem, you have to control it. You have to measure it as well as you have to control it. And after measuring, you have to control it. How you can control? By taking a corrective actions over it. And how you will take corrective action? By referring the design. What structure has been designed in the beginning phase, that you have to see. And maybe last step is there to review and improve. You people have to review based on the audit comments. You have to review what is the problem, whether things are going okay or not. And if it is going, again improving the things additionally. Right? So review and improvement deals with how results of audit are handled. So that I have explained. Whatever audit comment is there, what audit result is there, you people have to handle it. If they have commented badly, you have to improve. Even they commented very nicely, like everything is okay, you have to improve again. Right? So these are the very important steps in a QMS. Quality management system. Friends, I think you got the idea like what is the meaning of QMS, quality management system in the organization to maintain the quality, to improve continuously. There should be a certain system, and for that we call it as a quality management system. Getting? So this is about the today's discussion. Have you understood these two things, benchmarking and quality management system? These are the first two bits of this particular unit, or it is very heavy. I think benchmarking and quality management system. I have given so many examples. Can somebody tell me what you understood from benchmarking? Now tomorrow we are going to see environmental management system. Okay, so it is heavy, I think, for you. So most of the things we have not experienced practically, right? So it is quite difficult to understand theoretically. So, but in short, understand the benchmarking from my side. Benchmarking is nothing but we have to compare our performance with others. How you can compare it? You can take somebody's technique, somebody's processes. You have to adopt in your organization, and you have to refine it. You have to make certain changes, and you have to check your performance where you are, right? So in that way, you can remember the benchmarking. And what is the quality management system? That system which involves documentation process, various procedures, responsibilities of people, and achieving the why these are the important document process, procedure, responsibilities for achieving the quality policy and objective. If you want to achieve your objectives, if you want to achieve your quality policy, there should be a certain system, right? So people have given name as a quality management system, that is a QMS. समझ and we have seen its elements, right? Its purpose, benefits. Then we have seen its establishment, how it should be established. What are the steps in that, right? So I hope these two theoretical bits you understood. But in industry, remember, these are the very practical things which you have to perform, especially when you will join the production department. There, you have to experience such kind of systems, okay? And you will be a part of such a systems in a future, okay? So I will stop here. Anything if you want to ask, you can ask me. Maybe within 2 days we can complete this unit. So today, maybe at the evening, we will be having practicals. Okay. We'll stop here. Thank you. If you don't have any question, no problem. So quit the meeting.